sprint cars, backlit by the occasional flash of far-off lightning. Oh, what a grand stage it was. Good Saturday morning to you, and welcome to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Racing radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, and thank you for joining us this morning. The weather cooperated, a big crowd, and a great night of racing last night at the Diamond in the Desert as Rico Abreu took the Friday night win in the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series presented by MAV TV American Reel season opener as the Cocopah Cup Challenge for 2014 is now underway. Abreu from out of Rutherford, California had his number 24 out front early, leading the first 18 laps before being overtaken by Roger Crockett in the number 11. Entering the white flag lap, Crockett appeared to lose the groove in turn number 1. Abreu shooting past to re-grab the lead and the win. Abreu's first at the national level within the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series, and from there, the celebration was on in Victory Lane.
Oh, it's incredible. The track was really good. There at the end, it kind of got dirty on the top, and I just made some bad lane decisions, but I got back by Roger. I thought he missed it. It was really cleaner on 1 and 2, and I just thought he missed it, but, he thought the race was over, and, they throw that cross flag before they throw the white, and I was watching, and I just didn't know what was going on. I stepped by him down the backstretch and just made sure I hit my marks there at the end.
Abreu also had to fend off a fast-closing Christopher Bell in the 31B. Bell second at the line, with Crockett coming home third. Brian Brown in the number 10 and Brad Loyette wheeling the number 4 rounded out the top 5. In all, 40-plus sprint cars representing 12 states and Canada on track at the Diamond in the Desert last night, and all looking to be back for more action tonight. The Fisher Automotive Street Stocks also saw action last night at Cocopah Speedway. Alpine, California's Mike Harlan making his 2014 season debut a winning one. Harlan, the 2013 Cocopah Speedway Street Stock champion, had sat out the first 2 races of the year, but spent that time on some further adjustments to his number 7 race car.
Trade secret, can't indulge, but it has to do with the setup, I'll tell you that. And actually drove a little different. Drove the car a little bit different, trying a different driving style. And it worked. The car was awesome, never bobbled. And the track was good, too.
Harlan able to go both high and low early in dicing with early leader Jimmy Davey in the number 144. At the end, though, it was Harlan in the top spot, followed by the 77 of Chula Vista's Manny Baldivias, with Yuma's Joey Essery in the number 90, Dave Amos in the number 6, and Davey rounding out the top 5. And now we're set to get back at it again tonight. The second round of the Cocopah Cup Challenge presented by Cocopah Casino. The second night of 2014 action for the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series presented by MAV TV American Reel. Special event gate opening time of 4 p.m. Opening ceremonies and driver introductions tonight at 7 p.m. And remember, advance tickets for tonight's show remain available at the Napa Auto Parts stores in the Yuma Somerton area, as well as at the Cocopah Casino gift shop and online at CocopahSpeedway.com. Pick them up early. You can walk straight into Cocopah Speedway once the gates open and avoid the line at the box office. Looking forward to seeing all of the racers back in action again tonight at Cocopah Speedway. You are listening to Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, racing radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. And set to join us next, it's the voice of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series, presented by MAV TV American Reel, Mr. Bryan Hulbert, and he is set to join us next.
Just $20, and you could be behind the wheel of some genuine American-made muscle. Here's your chance to win a 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle SS during midnight at the Oasis. Get your tickets from any member of the Caballero Yuma or at their office at 181 West 1st Street, Suite C. Or stop by the booth at midnight at the Oasis and check out the 72 Chevelle and get your tickets then. Winner will be chosen Sunday, March 9th. For just $20, you could own some pure American-made muscle from the Caballero Yuma. For more information, go to midnightattheoasis.net.
Whether I'm training for a marathon, kickboxing, or lifting, I train to add muscle and build my inner strength. I am proud that I was born this way, driven. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. You can find me on a Coast Guard cutter, along with my shipmates, who are a lot like me, driven and committed to our country and the safety of our citizens. We were born for the Coast Guard.
If you were born ready, learn more at GoCoastGuard.com. Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and the station.
Greetings from the official luckiest person alive. Just how lucky am I? I once found a needle in a haystack underneath 3 more haystacks. I also taught an old dog new tricks. Card tricks, to be exact. And today, I'm here to endorse the new Lucky Life Scratchers from the Arizona Lottery. They've got a top prize of $5,000 a week for 20 years, plus second chance prizes. 4 tickets are available from $1 to $10, so get yours now. Lucky Life from the Arizona Lottery. You can't win if you don't play.
The all-new Spring Taste of Home Cooking Show is coming to Yuma. Grab your friends and family and join us at the Gila Ridge High School on Wednesday, March 12th at 6:30 p.m. Get your own magazine of recipes and follow along as Chef Eric Villegas cooks up some great seasonal dishes. Tickets are on sale now at www.brownpapertickets.com or go to the Yuma Sun at 2055 South Arizona Avenue. Taste of Home is presented by the Yuma Sun and ILOI Institute.
It's one of the most anticipated events of the year. March 7th through the 9th. It's Midnight at the Oasis. It all starts with a parade of hundreds of pre-1972 vehicles through the city on their way to Desert Sun Stadium just in time for the Friday night concert. Then the show and shine Saturday and the second concert Saturday night before wrapping up with the show and shine on Sunday. Buy your weekend passport passes now for $20 by stopping into one of the ticket outlets or the Caballeros main office, 180 West 1st Street. For more info, go to midnightattheoasis.net. Midnight at the Oasis, March 7th through the 9th.
Sponsored by the Caballeros de Yuma.
Every year, visitors from all over the world travel to Arizona and Southern California for many types of recreation. The BLM Yuma Field Office wants to remind all public land visitors of the dangers associated with any military or mining type of ordnance or explosives. The Desert Southwest has a rich cultural and historic past that includes numerous contributions relating to a military presence that supported settlement of the West, desert training, and weapons development. This military presence dates back to the 1800s. The Sonoran Desert's mineral-rich ground has drawn prospectors and fortune seekers and is still considered a primary location for individuals looking to strike it rich. Evidence of mining history can be seen at nearly every mountain range in the area. When visiting the desert, if you encounter an item with any explosive or potential explosive danger, you are asked to leave the item in place and do not touch it. Also, leave the immediate area the same way that you approached it. Don't activate electronic devices on or near the explosive item. Once you are safely away from the item, mark its general location with flagging, GPS coordinates, or by some other recognizable means. And please, notify the BLM or any appropriate law enforcement agency by the quickest means available.
You're listening to Racing Radio. It's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating here on Outlaw Country, AM 1400. Once again, I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, looking ahead on this edition of Laptime Live to tonight's second round of the Cocopah Cup Challenge, presented by Cocopah Casino, the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series, presented by MAV TV American Reel. And joining us in studio this morning, the man who had the call of last night's race action, Bryan Hulbert. And Bryan, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, an exciting night last night. Some concerns about weather to get it in, and in the end, well, what a great night of racing.
It definitely was. We did get sprinkled on a little bit there, probably about an hour or so before the races were scheduled to begin. But once it cleared off, we had a little bit of wind. But luckily, the way the wind was coming in, it was actually blowing against the back of the grandstands. So it was really good for the fans in that if there was any dust, they didn't get it. So it actually turned out to be a really good night of racing. Really good crowd. 39 drivers on hand last night, expecting 40 or more tonight. One driver in particular, Dana Lasowski, his truck actually broke down on him on the way here. He is in the parking lot of the Cocopah Resort and Casino today, so he will be in competition tonight. So that will bring our number to 40 for this event before we even get started here tonight. But last night's winner, Rico Abreu, the driver out of Rutherford, California, born in 1992, so only 21 years of age. And one thing about Rico that if you're not familiar with racing, he is not as big as you would think. He is actually a little person.
Big man inside a race car.
Exactly. Just because of his stature, that does not mean he cannot wheel a race car, and he certainly proved that last night. Just to give you a little background on Rico, he actually started in flat track motorcycles at 6 years of age. So for his stature and everything that basically people would think would be a hindrance for him is not. He's been able to overcome that. Started in flat track motorcycles at 6 years old, went into shifter carts at the age of 14, and moved to sprint cars only 5 years ago. So
it's been a fast step up over the
definitely
past
has.
few years.
Of course, last night signaling his first win in Lucas Oil ASCS National Competition. That's only the second A feature he has ever made in ASCS National Competition. So right now, batting 50%, I'd say he's doing pretty good.
Not bad at all.
He is the 137th different winner in series history. Last night was the 750th Lucas Oil ASCS National Feature event since 1993.
And Rico has been darn busy, throughout 2013, through the winter months as well, down to New Zealand, among other things, over with Chili Bowl as well.
Exactly. Basically, he's been already raced in 3 countries this year, so he has definitely had a very, very busy beginning to the 2014 season and into the 2013 season. So definitely look forward to see what he can do tonight, locked into the feature event, which means he's locked into the redraw. The worst he could possibly start tonight is 8th. Christopher Bell crossing a second last night. Roger Crockett, an interesting story there. Thought the race was over. Actually mistaked the white flag for the checkered flag and ended up 3rd. We do take the top 4 into the feature event, so he is locked in. So he did kind of get a saving grace there. Brian Brown barely edging out Brad Loyette's 05 by 0.016 seconds at the line for that 4th and final transfer spot. Loyette will have to race his way into the show tonight along with Johnny Herrera, Jason Johnson, Logan Forler, Brian Clausen, and Wayne Johnson among the drivers who finished in the top 10 last night.
We have made reference to the Cocopah Cup Challenge, and now Abreu, the man in position potentially, if he can take tonight's race as well as the 2 season closing races in November. Jason Johnson, talk a little bit about him and about his run last night, as he was the man who took the Cocopah Cup Challenge in 2013.
Jason's night not starting off the way he wanted to at all. He actually lost an engine in hot laps, had to go down and get that swapped out before his heat race, so the crew had very precious little time to get that done. They did it in about 12 minutes. So they were able to get the engine changed, get everything done. With the weather coming in last night, we did not do driver introductions as we normally would, so that did help his crew to be able to get that done and have Jason down there helping, with that extra set of hands to make sure that everything went together. Was able to get up as high as 5th last night after starting 8th, ended up falling back a little bit, did end up 7th, so not a bad way to start the year finish-wise, but not a good way to start it losing an engine before you ever get started.
Yeah, not wanting the nervous moments like that.
Exactly.
We're going to continue our conversation with Bryan Hulbert here in just a moment on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, as we continue to set the stage for tonight's round number 2 of the Cocopah Cup Challenge, the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour, presented by Math TV American Reel, in action again tonight at the Diamond in the Desert. And we'll be back with more right after this.
Amanda, age 3. Tyler, age 8. Marissa, age 4.5.
We could tell you just how many child abductions last year led to Amber Alerts.
Shaniqua, age 14. Ryan, age 9.
But this isn't about cold statistics. It's about saving kids.
Terrell and Jamal, age 6 months.
Please go to wirelessamberalerts.org. Sign up to get free Amber Alert text messages on your cell phone. When an Amber Alert is issued in the areas you've chosen, you'll receive a free text message. If you spot the vehicle, the suspect, or the child described in the alert, call 911. Sign up today for free at wirelessamberalerts.org. You can imagine what the family of an abducted child is feeling.
Alexander, age 7.
If you actually did help save that child, just imagine what that would feel like. WirelessAmberAlerts.org. A child is calling for help. This message brought to you by the Wireless Foundation, the U.S. Department of Justice, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Ad Council.
The Yuma agriculture industry, growing our community, growing what our bodies need, growing new culinary trends. Celebrate the industry with us at Yuma Lettuce Days, an agri-culinary festival, March 1st and 2nd at the Yuma Quartermaster Depot State Historic Park, featuring produce grown right in Yuma, ag tours, activities for kids, and celebrity chefs C.J. Jacobson and Lindy Cottle. Yuma Lettuce Days, brought to you by the Yuma Visitors Bureau.
Hi,
welcome to Pine Hardware.
Hi, I'm Jim from APS.
Oh, hey, Jim. Looking for some tools? We've got what you need.
Actually, I might have some tools you could use. Did you know APS Solutions for Business has energy efficiency tips and tools that can save your business energy and money?
Jim, you had me at save. Now, what can I help you find?
Tool belts. Mine's due for an upgrade.
You've got options. Find them all at aps.com/options.
Cocopah Casino is excited to welcome Yuma's own Bobby McClendon live in concert Saturday, March 1st. Get ready to kick up your heels and get your country on for this free concert event. Doors open at 9 p.m. Must be 21 to attend. For more information, visit CocopahResort.com or call 1-800-23-SLOT. Bobby McClendon live in concert Saturday, March 1st. Only at Cocopah Casino. Live the rush. If we do it right,
Welcome to the Year of Freedom with Clear Talk Wireless, where we all stand up together and say no to restrictions to your wireless plan. No contracts, no data caps, no limitations, ever. And Clear Talk always gives you the freedom to flash your current phone so you can keep it. That's the freedom of Clear Talk Wireless, and it's enough to make you feel as free as a panda. You know, because pandas don't wear pants. Discover the value of freedom with Clear Talk. Get 4 lines of truly unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month per line on Clear Talk's nationwide network. Clear Talk. More value, more freedom. More at ClearTalkWireless.com.
Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management is offering a free educational seminar Wednesday, March 5th at 6 p.m. at the Yuma County Main Library. Learn the ins and outs of your Social Security benefits. Married or divorced, one wrong decision could reduce the amount your survivor will receive. Discover options and strategies that can help you maximize your benefits and enhance your overall financial plan. Call 329-1700 to reserve your spot today. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Welcome back to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Racing radio on Outlaw Country AM 1400, presented by Cocopah Casino and 1 hour air conditioning and heating. And again, joining us in studio this morning, Bryan Hulbert, the voice of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour, presented by MAP TV, American Real. And Bryan, a little bit of uncertainty about the weather tonight, a little bit again today. Looks like, though, things are going to cooperate again. But does that add any extra stress or maybe challenge is a better word in terms of the preparation that all of the drivers who were set to compete tonight will go through?
Not really. As far as the drivers, they're just pretty much in a waiting game. They're just, wanting to see what's going to happen. As right now, of course, according to the weather, we're sitting at about a 30% chance. That drops all the way down to almost zero by the time we get ready to race. So at this point, if it were to rain right now, it would actually be a good thing for the track, because that's just less water they have to put on the track. And one thing is Mother Nature waters the track better than any water truck can. Sometimes overwaters it, and that's typically whenever we go, sorry boys, we can't race. But as the drivers and crews, really, for them, it's just a waiting game. They're going to do their maintenance, and they're going to get ready for the race as if it's going to happen until the track officially says yes or no. In this case, there's no reason why we should not race tonight. One track in Arizona, though, dirt track-wise, that has had to call their races in Phoenix, and that is the Canyon Speedway Park, just tweeting out that the rain has gotten the best of them. So that does open the door for possibly more cars, as they had nearly 20 sprint cars racing non-wing this weekend over there. Some of those might throw the wing on and actually come over. That also gives fans another outlet to come over and check out the race here in Yuma.
Certainly look forward to having them and seeing them all at Cocopah Speedway. The Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series, another year of competition. The series continues to grow. Can you tell us about what we can look forward to in 2014? And we know it's going to be a big, big season.
54 races on the schedule for the 2014 season already, and we're working on about another half dozen potentially before the year's done to try to get the schedule up closer to 60 races. That's really the goal going ahead, is to keep that 60 race schedule for these drivers and to make it more affordable for them to be able to race on the road and do it as a living. And you would think, well, more racing is going to cost more. Yeah, but that means you get paid more often. So the more races you have, actually, the better it is for the drivers and the crews, because they have that flow of income, whether they're winning or whether they're just making the show. Plus, if you race full-time at the National Tour inside the top 12, you get tow money. money for every race night that you attend. So that helps them get down the road, especially with the way fuel prices are, in diesel especially, being as high as it is. So we try to do as much as we can to help the racer, whether it's trying to get more races or get more money to them in order to be able to get down the road. But definitely looking for a good year. A lot of high-paying shows this year. Of course, twin 10,000 to win events here at the Cocopah Speedway, our season opener and our season closer in November. And then also we add to that the Front Row Challenge, again, another potential for 30,000 to win. The Arnold Motor Supply ASCS 360 Knoxville Nationals, another 10,000 to win event. Short Track Nationals, 15,000 to win. And then you throw in now the Fall Brawl at I-80 Speedway in Greenwood, Nebraska, 5,000 to win, potentially 50,000 to win if a driver can sweep the weekend.
And all coming around to that coveted championship at the end of the year.
Nearly $250,000 is paid out in the championship standings when everything's said and done. The winner takes home $60,000 for what he does. So it's definitely looking to be a great season. We have about a dozen full-time travelers this year and about another half dozen part-time travelers, from Brian Brown, Daniel Lasowski, James Mosier, Roger Crockett in the mix also. They're probably going to run about 25 to 30 of our scheduled 54 events right now.
Wanted to ask a little bit more about that, too. I get that question from fans from time to time. Obviously, the challenges of being on the road full-time for some of the drivers, but some are able to take out some home time here and there.
Yeah, and the way we try to structure the schedule is we don't want to just completely wear them out. We do want to give them a little bit of time off, but at the same time, again, we want to try to give them as much racing as possible, especially when you come this far out and this close to the West Coast. It gets really hard for drivers from the Midwest to make that trip, but it's really amazing that even last night you had drivers from 13 states and 2 countries, from California, Oklahoma, Oregon, Missouri, New Mexico, Louisiana, right here in Arizona, Indiana, Washington, Tennessee, Texas, Kansas, Wyoming, and then all the way from Oswego, Ontario, Canada. So they are making that trip, they are making that drive, and having a $10,000 payday for Saturday night is certainly a nice incentive.
And certainly hoping to see Cocopah Speedway be a part of that destination.
Most definitely. We enjoy coming out here. This is one of the nicer facilities that I have the pleasure of getting to work at, and probably the nicest staff of tracks that we get to go to, whether it's Mike, and not just because he's sitting across from me with a gun to my head. He really is a great guy to work with. He's very passionate about what goes on at that track, and it definitely shows him what he does. Greg Burgess, who used to manage and run our ASCS Northwest region up in Oregon and Washington, coming down here, and I asked him at one point, why did you leave? And he goes, man, the weather here is much better.
We certainly do enjoy it, at least for 5 months out of the year.
Well, and it's interesting. Growing up in the desert, I grew up in southern New Mexico and West Texas, over in Las Cruces and El Paso, and you average 7 inches of rain a year, 10 inches of rain a year, and here I think you guys only average about 3 or 4. So
in a good year.
Yeah, in a good year. So in order to get fresh water, to get down to that fresh water table, you have to punch down like 500 feet here. Otherwise, you're in the saltwater table. So it's definitely interesting coming back here with the people from the Midwest, because they're just like, oh my God, it's so dry, it's not green. It's like, really, this is great. I don't have to worry about rain all the time, because moving up to Tulsa, it rains 40 to 60 inches a year. And it's insane.
There are those of us who have no comprehension of that, even after...
I'm still trying to get used to this stuff they call grass.
That is an interesting thing.
Yeah, they have trees, grass. They don't have to go out with a sprinkler. It's wild.
May want to try that in my backyard and front yard.
It's too humid.
And there's too many toys covering over that area, too.
Yeah.
Brian, we can certainly look forward to excitement tonight as we kind of close it out this morning. Going to be a spectacular show again.
It definitely is. The track was wide. It was slick. It did take a little bit of rubber there towards the end, but even talking with Christopher Bell, who ended up finishing second, and I asked him, were you still able to run the top even with the rubber kind of going down to the bottom? He said if you did it right, you could, and you could carry your speed, and that's where he ran the better part of the final laps, is he stayed up on that top groove and was making it work. And when we talk about that, he was leaning the car on what we call the cushion, which is that build-up all the way up at the top of the track, and he's able to keep his momentum up. He's not having to be as patient to run down around the bottom and go in and break the car, keep it loaded, make sure he doesn't hit the inside berm. All he has to do is make sure he goes in and cheat that cushion, and keep the car wound up and keep his momentum up. That way, when it's all said and done, he can get that run he needs and potentially find the leader in lap traffic and not knowing where he's at.
Yeah, that brings up one last point, too, for casual race fans here in the Yuma area who perhaps have only been out for Cocopah Speedway Racing Series events, talking about running that cushion. It is amazing how close to the wall the sprint cars will push that cushion.
They'll actually get completely on the wall at times. Last night, that cushion, especially exiting turn 2, was all the way up against the concrete, so you'd see at times a little bit of spark off of the bead lock of the wheel, or maybe a little bit of puff of that white concrete powder as they were going up and actually tapping that wall. So, and that's interesting. You'd think it slowed down, but actually it's kind of a launch for those guys to be able to go up and do that. So it takes a very, very, very fine right foot in order to finesse the car and not blow through that cushion and go straight into the wall. And you'll see drivers doing that tonight, and you'll see them working the bottom of the racetrack. But one interesting thing about this track, especially being in the desert compared to some that we've been to, is there's always a bottom and there's always a top groove. It's never just around the top. It's never just around the bottom. And that's really a testament to Greg and the entire track prep crew for what they do out here. And I think fans are extremely lucky to have a facility like the Cocopah Speedway and to have the Cocopah Indian Tribe willing to back something like that. You don't realize how lucky you are until it's gone.
Bryan Hulbert is the voice of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series presented by MAV TV, American Real. Bryan, thank you so much again for stopping in to talk with us this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you betcha. And we look forward to more exciting action tonight as the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series is back in action at the Diamond in the Desert. As noted earlier, gates open at 4, a special event opening time of 4 p.m., driver introductions and racing beginning at 7 p.m. Advance tickets remain on sale at select Yuma area Napa Auto Parts stores, the Cocopah Casino gift shop, or you can get them online at CocopahSpeedway.com. Hey, the sprint car races tonight, not the only thing happening at the complex of facilities that includes the Speedway at Cocopah Casino, and here to tell us more about those activities, good morning, Anna Corpus.
Good morning, Speedway fans. Many of you who attended the Fan Fest on Thursday got a taste of the delicious fry bread that the Native Eatery offers. Well, tonight they are making sure racing fans don't go to bed hungry. The schedule has been adjusted to stay open late, so hours today and only today are 3 p.m. until 3 a.m. The Native Eatery is located in the breezeway of the hotel and casino, which is right next to the gift shop. At Cocopah Casino, Yuma's own Bobby McClendon performs live inside of the River Room. Bobby now lives and works in Nashville, but is returning for one night and giving a free concert. Also, this is your last chance to win big with Plinko at Cocopah Casino. The last drawing is tonight, and drawings have been going on all month long, so the last drawing is tonight at 10 p.m. Also tonight at Wild River, the International Mighty Mushrooms perform live inside of the bar and lounge. Doors open at 8:30, and the music starts at 10 p.m. Admission is actually $7, and you must be 18 years or older to enter. And there's always tons of events taking place at the Cocopah Enterprises. Keep up to date by liking their Facebook pages. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Anna. Information on all of those activities, shows, and more easily accessed through Cocopah.com and through CocopahResort.com. Hey, one final reminder as well, information on all of the drivers competing and on all of the activities surrounding the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series presented by MAP TV, American Real, available online at ASCSRacing.com as well as on Facebook at the Lucas Oil ASCS Sprint Car Series page. Make sure you give them a like for updates throughout the night on tonight's racing at Cocopah Speedway. You can also follow the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series on Twitter, addressed as @LucasOilASCS. Smartphone and tablet apps also available for scoring at the iPhone and Android stores. Hey, lots of other specialized content and information regarding Cocopah Speedway, the 2014 racing season, tonight's event, and more available at CocopahSpeedway.com, and be sure to like us on Facebook. Hey, hope the kids out on the grounds at Cocopah Speedway right now with the Mini Speedway are having some fun as the Mini Speedway making its debut today. All part of the activities surrounding the Lucas Oil World American Sprint Car Series in action again tonight at the Diamond in the Desert. Our thanks once again to Bryan Hulbert for taking time out of his busy race day to talk with us this morning. Again, he'll be back on the microphone tonight out at Cocopah Speedway. You've been listening to Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Back with more next Saturday morning, 11 a.m. here on Outlaw Country AM 1400.